is on immigration. Immigration is an area that was a key election issue in the presidential election. How many of you have been watching lately about what's happening at our border?
Yeah.
It's very scary, isn't it? It's upsetting. We had a chance in this state to put forth some strong anti-sanctuary city and anti-sanctuary college campus legislation that would protect our state. Two very conservative legislators had bills. One would prohibit sanctuary cities, the other would prohibit sanctuary college campuses, and the campus bill would actually stop your funding. If you're a college campus that is knowingly harboring illegals, you lose your state money. The governor stopped those two bills. And a lot of people didn't know about that until Jan Morgan decided to run against him and started talking about this. And now he's angry about it. And so in his speeches, he says, I don't support sanctuary cities or sanctuary campuses, but what he doesn't tell you is, but I did stop those two pieces of legislation. Folks, as governor of Arkansas, I promise you, Arkansas will not become another California. We will dig those legislators. And the word will get out across America that Arkansas is not the place you want to go if you are here in America illegally. We will make sure of that. We're going to not only pass that legislation, I'm going to push that legislation again, but also I want us to work aggressively with ICE, Department of Homeland Security, and the United States Justice Department. Our law enforcement, working with them to be able to aggressively attack that issue in this state. Another area the governor and I differ is on foreign law in our courtrooms. The National Security Policy Center suggested that all states pass legislation prohibiting foreign law in our states' courtrooms. And the reason they did this and suggested this is because they said there were, in 23 states, now listen to this fact, 23 states, there were over 50 court cases where our judges had allowed sharia law to trump constitutional law in cases involving Muslims, much to the detriment of women and children who were victims of that very barbaric, violent, and oppressive law. We don't live by any law in America other than constitutional law. There's nothing wrong with taking a stand for constitutional law and simply passing legislation that says there will be no foreign law in our courtrooms in this state, period. What's wrong with that? Well, apparently, our legislators agree with me. They passed that legislation prohibiting foreign law in the courtrooms in the state of Arkansas. Except, to this day, our governor has refused to sign it. It went into law without his signature. But even today, he refuses to sign it. No, a lot of people didn't know about that either until I got in this race and started telling people about it. And you know what his excuse was when the media said, sir, Jim Morgan says that you wouldn't take a stand for constitutional law, that you wouldn't sign the legislation that our legislators passed, which meant their constituency wanted this. Why didn't you sign that, sir? And his response was this, quote, I've been an attorney in Arkansas for over 40 years and I've never seen Sharia in any of our courtrooms. Do you get a flu shot before you get the flu or after you get the flu? Before. A good leader is proactive rather than reactive. Finally, we've talked about the corruption in government. People say, what are you going to do about that? I mean, man, there's a lot of it. And you're right, there is.
John Woods.
But it's not what Jan's going to do about it. It's what we are going to do about it. Because see, what I'm going to do is go in and shine the light of transparency on our state capitol. We've got FOIA issues, people trying to get information, and believe me, I know, that you can't seem to get access to because all these little special rules that allow things to be hidden. I'm still trying to find out exactly how much money has our governor given to communist billionaires in China to come here and open businesses in Arkansas for a few jobs here and a few jobs there. Maybe you have better luck than me. So far, I know there are several people who've tried but can't seem to get the exact numbers. The best way to restore trust in your government is to make your government transparent and accountable to the people. How are we going to do that? I'm going to put cameras in our committees so that when you want to follow a bill, you can log on to the Arkansas.gov website at any time and watch live streaming that day. Watch your legislator in action. See if that legislator, did he really or she really represent you? Did they fight for you on that bill like he promised you? Oh, I'm going to fight for you, okay? And then you're going to watch it. Did he? Did he speak up? You'll be able to hold that legislator accountable. Right now, you can't. And I'm going to also insist, until we can get around, there's a, changing the rules in committee is a major ordeal. It's not something you can just go in as governor and say, okay, we're going to change the rules. It's a major ordeal. But until we can get that accomplished, what I'm going to insist on is that every Republican in every committee take the responsibility of taking turns, and at some point on every bill, I want a good Republican to raise a hand and say, I want a roll call vote. Because that eliminates this terrible thing called group voice vote that they can do on controversial bills where they don't want you to know how they voted. Did you know they can do that? They can say, okay, all in favor say yay, yay, nay, nay. And you're like, who voted for what? And then the chair can say, I believe the yeas have it. And a few times they've been wrong. You don't know. And that lets your legislator come home and say, man, listen, I fought so hard for you. I voted for it, but I was outnumbered. And there's no way for you to track it and make sure that he's not being dishonest with you. But a roll call vote makes every legislator be on the record for every single vote. In our committees, I also want a written record so that you don't have to watch the video. You can go on the Arkansas.gov website on every bill and say, how did my legislator vote on that? Yes.